Welcome back to the Commish and Anderson Show. And I'm Anderson, this is the Commish, and we are set for an intriguing matchup. It is the 2-1 Trash Talk at the 3-0 Columbus Finest Bean. This is a matchup that does hit home here.
A little bit.
But let's get started with it. I'm looking forward to this matchup. You've had my number for quite a while, and I'll admit that.
Years.
But who knows? This could be the year. Anyway, let's get started right away. Aaron Rodgers at Minnesota, Peyton Manning at Seattle. Going to be honest with you, not really either quarterback has a great matchup, but I don't know that I'm in love with either one. Who do you give the edge to?
I'm in the same boat as you, but I'm going to give Manning the smallest of edges, and I mean by minuscule points.
So 1?
2.
Okay. The most minuscule would be 1.
But I'm minuscule-like, and I'm going to go 2 points.
Okay.
They're both going to be in the mid-teens. They're both too good to not score in the mid-teens.
Okay. I think the question that's going to come down to as far as Rodgers versus Manning is who has the most turnovers or who gets sacked the most. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Anyway, let's go to the running backs. I'll be honest with you. I really like your running backs. Slayton and Johnson going up against Oakland and Jacksonville.
Good, solid matchups for Trash.
Really, really great matchups for your running backs. And I would see no reason why both of your running backs couldn't get into the mid-teens, if not higher than that.
I'm kind of looking at 59 for Chris Johnson.
Again, you're calling 59?
Why not? I could use it.
I'll go ahead and put it on this record. I will go with the under on that. I think he will probably get around 15. I don't think he'll get more than 20. Anyway, let's go to my side. Pierre Thomas, and he's back. He does not have a probable next to his name anymore. He looked great in the fourth quarter. Do you think they'll be able to keep this up or not?
Well, he'll probably have a probable by his name by this time tomorrow, because he is Fernando Bryant fragile. It's like he's made out of glass.
Okay.
I hope he sprains his ankle on the way to the team bus. But having said that, in all likelihood, he'll probably play. But he's going to get beat down big time by the Jets' blitzing, psycho, crazy defense.
Okay. And then Ahmad Bradshaw was seen walking around in a boot. From what I understand in New York, it doesn't seem that serious. Everyone seems to expect him to play. Kind of worries me a little bit. But
sure,
if I don't play Bradshaw there, do you think Tashard Choice is the right option to fill in there? Or would you go with Fred Jackson? Jonathan Stewart's on a bye, hasn't really done much. Leon Washington gets his averages, but he's not really getting touchdowns.
I tell you, Dougie, I'll give you some trash advice. And this is not from Trash. This is from the Commish.
You just said it's trash advice.
It could be. I would probably go 4 wide with Devin Hester, because I mean all you've got basically besides Gautreau Johnson,
Gartrell
is second tier running backs, and at least Hester gets to play the loins.
Let me ask you a question though. With that, I have way more points scored than you have, and I haven't lost a game. So I'll take your advice for the 2 cents that it's worth. And that's
you could always roll with Avion Kaysen.
That's true. Or you could roll with, let's go with your wide receivers, Bernard Berrien. Bernard Berrien is terrible. He's awful.
He's not terrible.
And Johnson only has 7 less fantasy points than Bernard Berrien, which is an absolute shame. Because he's a third-string guy, according to your first-string Bernard Berrien. That said, why do you still have him in your lineup, and why in the world why aren't you putting Lee Evans in there, who traditionally plays really well against Miami, who's giving up 260 yards plus in the air?
It's thoughts like that ruin fantasy football teams. You're taking this way out of context.
Okay.
It's 3 games in, and Bernard Berrien is pimp. He will turn around and he will win this game for me.
Okay.
Mark it down freaking here. Bernard Berrien wins this game for Trash.
Okay.
And you will get off my freaking back about Bernard Berrien.
All right, well, let's go ahead and look at your other wide receivers. Calvin Johnson against Chicago and Donald Driver against Minnesota. I think Donald Driver wants to make Aaron Rodgers look sweet, especially in...
this Favre talk going on.
It's a lot of talk, but I think that your wide receivers look okay. Who do you give the edge to, me or you in the wide receiver category?
Receivers, I'm going to have to give you the edge. I like Steve Smith this week. He seems to be the number 1 for Eli. it's sad to see that because I had many an opportunity to pick up Steve Smith on the waiver wire.
But I'm generally a waiver wire. That's one thing I actually am able to do.
You do excel in the waiver wire picks.
But Steve Smith has actually helped me out. But
Dwayne Bowe a couple years ago,
exactly.
Ryan Grant.
Yep, Ryan Grant, Tyler Thigpen. At least helped me win 6 games. I know it's not that great, but nonetheless,
that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Andre Johnson going against, help me out here, Nnamdi Asomugha, something along those lines.
That's right. That's right.
How many points do you think Johnson gets? Do you think he gets?
I'm gonna go under 10.
Yeah, I don't think he gets. I think he gets about 6, and I'll be happy if he gets 6 on him.
Touchdown. I'd say probably around 10 or so.
All right. Randy Moss still has some back issues against Baltimore. The back issues, he had the same exact thing last week, but he actually came back in the fourth quarter, just caught a ton of passes, and ended up having a pretty good fantasy week.
Randy Moss is an enigma. And it's tough to figure this guy out. He always plays to his competition. And that's why people like Darrelle Revis can dominate him because he underestimates them.
Yeah.
Darrelle Revis can't stop Randy Moss. But that Sunday he did because Randy Moss played down to his competition. Yeah. Sorry, Revis. But, I mean, Randy Moss is awesome. And if he would just look at Baltimore as the top defense that it is, I look for big things out of Moss.
All right, let's go to the tight ends. Owen Daniels, Todd Heap.
Todd.
I like Owen Daniels. And Oakland doesn't give up a ton of tight end points. Neither really does New England. I kind of call this one a wash. I know Todd Heap's going to be excited about playing. He's been talking about it all week long.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't come out for massive amounts of revenge. It's trash.
All right, then you got Packers at Minnesota, and you've also got the Giants at Kansas City.
It's a no-brainer. Giants should very well dominate the Chiefs.
Yeah. I think so too. Although I think the Packers, I think they're really going to be in some trouble because it's going to be a shootout. But I think they'll be able to get the turnover points. I think they'll get a lot of points scored on them, but I think they'll get the turnover points to make them a legitimate fantasy defense.
I mean, who knows Brett Favre better than the Packers?
Yeah, that's true. They're going to want him to just keep shuttling it right through the air and hoping to get some turnovers that way. All right. Well, what do you think this game comes down to?
Tsunamis. Just kidding. I'm going to go with trash. Taking this one I'm going to go 99-91 trash.
Okay.
And it's going to be because, as usual, Chris Johnson's going to lead the way.
Okay, with his 59 points.
With his 50-ish.
Okay, you said 59 earlier.
50-ish.
I'm going to go with Columbia's Finest Bean. I think that I'm able to extend the winning streak here.
When's the last
4-0.
time you ever beat trash?
I haven't, but you know what? I think this could be the year. We're motivated more than ever with all of our doubters.
And you've got Gartrell.
And I've got Gartrell Johnson.
Freaking awesome.
So, but we'll see you on the gridiron. Good luck to you, but I think I'll be able to pull it out. So we'll be right back with our next matchup.